Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in. I've got another replay analysis here. This one's sent in by K2. And he's going to have a big time in his Charioteer Tier 8 British TD with a turret. This, a lot of times you call a TD like this a heavy. This is more like a medium with a massive gun. It's got pretty good mobility. It's got a turret, decent depression, and really quite a nice gun on it actually. So he's loaded into Corelli. He's defense in a 3-5-7, so he's top tier. He's got a really good setup right here. This is an interesting game because he's going to have a pretty big time. But I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to be a little bit critical of you here, K2, because you win this game, but the interesting thing is what else could have happened. So let's take a look at this. He's going to head over here, posting up to take a look at the northeast corner. And no one's really going up to the northeast. He gets a push going down to the southwest. He goes into these bushes here, looking for some early shots on guys. That's a good idea. These bushes are a good spot, as long as you don't get spotted. So he refrains maybe from shooting here. There we go. We're going to take a shot on the Rudy. Put the hammer down on him. And the Rudy takes some hits. And now he's in danger of somebody getting up underneath him right here, lighting him up, and he will get absolutely annihilated by any of their TDs and guys that are sitting up on that hill. So he backs off. I think that's the right thing to do. But still, he's really out in the open right here. I'm going to tell you, man, this felt like you just got a little bit lucky right there. But still, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You got out front. You got a shot in early. You facilitated a little bit more damage. And there goes one of your guys getting hammered. And now we've got a Cromwell being very foolish hanging out in the middle there. Gets hammered. The Rudy is up underneath you there on the ramp, and that's a big problem. You're getting your JPZ eaten up. The Churchill's not going to last very long. And that's why guys get up underneath there, is to light up very foolish people who are along the edge, or to poke up on the ramp and light up guys who are camping. And this artillery has chosen one of the worst spots ever to be for artillery on this map. And right off the bat, you're down 3 tanks. You do have a push up into the southwest hill. And now you've got K2 running away, and he's going to reposition. All right, if anyone who's ever followed me at all has seen me win this map quite a few times, and I talk about it a lot, both on offense and defense. These hills are absolutely critical to winning the game, and just nobody went up there. Man, I would tell you that with this tank, I'd have driven right up to that corner and just hammered anybody who showed up there first. I am quite literally afraid of nothing on their team except getting swarmed or hammered by artillery. And you can really minimize artillery by hanging out on the back edge here, getting lights. This thing's fast enough, you could have even got up here, taken a couple shots, turned around and skedaddled back down here. But as it is, you're going to play a much more defensive game. So we're going to head up here to the top. Got the one, the WZ sitting there. Put a hammer on him, light him on fire, nicely done. And then back out of the way. You don't want to highlight yourself there for too long. And now we've got their team pushing down. And this is what you're trying to avoid by going up to that northwest corner, is letting these guys get into these forward positions, start lighting up your campers, and absolutely eating those guys for lunch. But you've done the right thing. You've gone and repositioned, and you're punishing them about as much as they punish you. The problem is, man, that once your eyes are gone, you're in a bad shape if the other team has any idea what they're doing. Unfortunately, for their team, this scout gets a little over aggressive early. You're able to react to that and take him down. That's a nice job. You force the Rudy to miss. You do have to be careful that VK is up there probably looking for shots on you right now. That Rudy is still a problem. He's still alive right there. It'd be really nice if you could get rid of him. Gonna come up here, you get lit. Take a hit from the Jackson, you take a hit from the 3002. You actually bounce the 4257, so you know he's up there too. No mystery really. I mean, they're gonna have multiple tanks up there. That guy shoots in there. I think he was just timing your return. You may have still been lit when you turned around, or he was just guessing you're somewhere near that rock, or that bush I mean. So nice shot there. We take that guy down, but we're still losing, right? Looks like your southwest corner is doing fine. But I tell you, had you guys had a spotter up there, I think this would have gone a lot better for you. I think your tank was the tank for the job, but you're using it to its strengths. That's good. You are using the mobility. You're using that good gun. This is the one decision that I really did question right here. Now, I think what you're thinking here is I'm going to go over, I'm going to help these guys survive the Tiger 1 and the KV-3, but the problem with that idea is you just left an entire flank, and if they're any kind of aggressive and they have a lot of tanks left, there's 3 of them down in the southwest, but where are the rest? There's the Rudy and the Sturb. There's a couple more unaccounted for. If they had pushed up into the eastern side of your defense, that could have been a real problem. The good news is you're at a relatively low tier and the other team isn't really that good. So come over here, we got the 25-2. He's going to eat an IS shot. Down he goes. And guess what? They've moved up. You've got a light on that Sturv. The Jackson is in there. Taking a look. There goes the Jackson. That's helpful. Sturv's still trolling around. Oh, there's a Rudy coming in. There he is. So he's repositioned. That's good news for you because you can do that too. Oh, you missed him, but your friend got him. So that's good news. You got rid of him. That was probably one of the better players on their team based on what he was doing. If he wasn't one of the better players, he was doing one of the better things. Because he was actually fairly effectively keeping your guys' heads down, and they were able to eat up your defense. And now you're just playing catch up. So that's a nice shot right there. You'll notice that this thing has Hesh, so he's going to avoid using Hesh for the most part. If you've got a nice soft target and you think you can get in there, that's good. But Hesh can be a bit problematic. Good shot there. That hammers him. The SU is still hanging on. A44 gets the KV-3. So that secures your southwest hill. And now you're kind of free to move a little bit. Man, I would not have stopped right there. I think you get the picture as you run. I'd have just fired and gone by. That thing will machine gun you down, and if he manages to track you and you can't get it fixed fast enough and out of the way before he tracks you again, you're in big trouble. And there's only 3 of you with 2 artillery. This is pretty problematic right now. And I think had you stayed on the other flank, you might have been able to work these guys over a little bit better. A little bit hesitant here, but really you're kind of wondering, hey, is that AT going to come around the corner on me? What is that guy doing right now? You've just crossed. That's nice. He's not looking at you. That's very lucky. You're also lucky the artillery doesn't come in and find you right there. And we get around. Auto aim on the 4257. He gets his 2 shots in out of his 3-round clip and dies. So we're going to spin around and head back the other way. I might have waited a little while to spin around because I think you were still lit when you started the turn. I'd acted like I was coming up that other way, and that may have turned around that AT-15 completely, or at least given him pause. I like this right here. You're going to start working on this A44, or start working with this A44, who's probably going to start taking shots from the AT. I can't tell if that bat chat. No, it doesn't look like he's tracked. He's sort of just sitting there like a buffoon. I'm not really sure what his plan is right here, but he's just getting eaten alive. A44's got him, and this was a nice job right here, and you just start punishing these guys. There's a Hesh round, and that's that problematic status of the Hesh round. Still pretty good armor on the side of that thing. He switches back to the AP. Puts another hammer blow into him. AT is wisely moving forward to try to put some rock between him and you. I'd have reacted to that faster. Clearly that's what he was trying to do. Just followed him up, and you'd already be shooting about right now. But as it is, you come out, no problem. Put a shot into him. Once again, I'd have just pushed out. I know the artillery's there, but he's probably paying attention to the A44. And you'd have shot that guy much earlier. Did it cost your team anything? No. But it's one of those things I talk about where you want to get out there and get that shot as soon as possible, because that allows you to move on to the next thing as soon as possible. And even though it didn't matter a whole bunch right there, if that's your standard habit pattern, when it does matter, it will be there. So you're trying to build those good habit patterns that always serve you. And like, you know, sometimes it seems weird that, why do I try hard right up to the very end of it? But the point is, if you're always doing the right things, then when you get busy, oversaturated, then that muscle memory is there and you're more likely to make the right play under stress. We're going to speed this up because you go looking for him, but he's all the way back here. The 5916 begs for the last kill. It says, can I have last? And K2 does that for him. I don't really do that. You know, I don't expect people to do that. It's not that I'm trying to be a jerk. It's just, let's get this thing done. I'm trying to maximize my damage. If you want the kill, get in there and make it happen. But all right, he helps him out. But what happens here is pretty funny, because this is a French SPG, which are quite maneuverable and quick. And the 5916 old Rusty Nuts decides to put himself completely out in the open. He takes that one shot for that whole 100 damage, and this dude just turns, and then he's pretty fast, so off he goes. K2 tries to track him, and he still still blasts the 5916. So ultimately, it didn't hurt K2's kill numbers, but it hurt his damage maybe just a little bit. All right, man, nice game. 5,300, 5 kills. I talked about at the beginning, we'd look at a good game and maybe talk a little bit about, well, what if? I really think if you were a little more aggressive in this particular situation, had you gone up to the northeast hill, you might have come away with a lot more spotting, more than likely. Maybe less damage, potentially, but it would have been a much better move for your team. And what happens a lot of times there is people say, I'm in a TD, so because I'm in a TD, then I'm a sniper, or I'm a TD, I must hide in the back. That is, my tank does that. That's what I have to do. But I really think if you looked at this one with an objective view, you'd find out that you were one of the more effective tanks in any role on this map, in this mode, on defense. You were basically a TD, a medium, and a heavy, all rolled into one in this particular match, based on what you were facing and who you had with you on the map. Could you have gone up there and got swarmed by those guys and that clown 8.8 and whatever else was back there? Was it a Panther? Whatever died back there. Panther and Easy 8 not really help you. That's possible, but I always lean towards the more aggressive stance. All of that being said, nice game, good job, good reaction for the most part to everything. I hope you guys like what you saw. I hope you learned something potentially in there. Some of what I said might be a little bit controversial with a lot of people, so if you've got any comments, criticisms, put them on down there in the comments section and let's talk about it. Otherwise, we will see you.